Samsung is finally doing something its fans have wanted for years, adding 16 gigabytes of RAM to its Galaxy S26 series for everyone around the world, not just a few countries. In the past, Samsung has often made different versions of its top phones. Depending on where you live, sometimes you'd get a different processor, or sometimes less memory. For example, with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, the 16GB RAM version was only available in South Korea, China, and Taiwan. Everywhere else had to settle for 12GB, but now that's going to change. A new leak says the Galaxy S26 series, including the regular models and the Ultra, will finally come with a 16GB RAM option for most people around the world. This is great news for those who love having extra memory on their phones. It's actually the first time since the Galaxy S21 Ultra back in 2021 that Samsung is offering this much RAM on a global level. For the last 4 years, Samsung kept their Ultra phones stuck at 12GB of RAM. The only exception was the S25 Ultra, and even then, the higher RAM version was limited to a few countries. It didn't make much sense, especially when other phone brands were moving ahead. So why is Samsung finally doing this now? Well, part of the reason is competition. Chinese phone companies like Xiaomi, Vivo, and OnePlus have already been selling phones with 16GB of RAM, and Apple is catching up too. The upcoming iPhone 17 is expected to have 12GB of RAM, which is still less than Samsung's upcoming 16GB, but more than what iPhones had before. Samsung probably doesn't want to fall behind. It also makes sense because phones today are doing a lot more than before. With new AI features becoming more popular, phones need more RAM to handle these powerful tools smoothly without slowing down. Samsung is putting a big focus on AI with their Galaxy AI features, so having extra RAM will help everything run better. A recent report from Macquarie says the Galaxy S26 Ultra will come with 16GB of RAM everywhere, not just in certain places. This means users worldwide will finally get the same powerful phone instead of missing out because of where they live. But if you don't really care about having more RAM or you want to save some money, Samsung will still offer a 12GB version too. That way, people can pick the one that works best for them. If we look back, Samsung first introduced a 16GB RAM option with the Galaxy S20 Ultra in 2020, and then again with the S21 Ultra. But after that, for some reason, they went backwards. From the S20 to Ultra all the way to the S25 Ultra, most models only had 12GB. It felt like a strange decision, especially since other brands were moving ahead with bigger memory options. The S26 Ultra now seems like Samsung fixing that mistake. It also fits with what they've been doing with their foldable phones. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 SE, for example, launched in China with better specs, more RAM, a thinner body, and a better camera. Now, the upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 7 is expected to be a global version of that upgraded SE model. It's clear that Samsung is changing its approach. Instead of saving the best features for a few markets, they're now making them available to everyone. Now, let's talk about price. That's always a big question. If Samsung can keep the price of the 16GB models reasonable and not too much higher than the 12GB ones, more people will probably want to buy them. The higher RAM option could become the popular choice if the price difference isn't huge. So, in the end, the Galaxy S26 series, especially the Ultra, is finally bringing back the 16GB RAM that users have been asking for. This puts Samsung ahead of Apple, on par with Chinese brands, and better prepared for the future of AI on smartphones. And this time, it's not just for China or Korea. It's coming to your country too, if you've been waiting to upgrade because of the memory limits. The Galaxy S26 Ultra might be the phone worth waiting for. Let's just hope Samsung keeps the price fair and delivers the kind of performance everyone expects.